There is nothing termed new, as anything we ascribe the new phenomenon to are just old experiences, old events happening to new people. So today we'll be taking a look at the growth trajectory of a multinational corporation, a big multinational corporation named Airtel. So our goal for this is to discover lessons, key lessons that we can implement in our business life, in our personal development life, and in our financial life. Let's dive in, shall we? So welcome back, guys. It all started in 1976, where a young man who was 18 years of age as at that time, Sunil Bharti Mittal, began his entrepreneurial journey from his hometown where he was bettered in Ludhiana, northern India. So he began with the production of spare parts for bicycle owners. So he began to produce spare parts, particularly crankshafts for bicycle owners. So having borrowed and secured funding, so he secured funding, I want to call it borrowing, but he secured funding from his father to a tune of 20,000 Indian rupee, which is equivalent to $245 as at that time. So he was able to secure funding from his father, which he then used to begin the venture into the production of crankshafts for bicycle owners as at that time. So having started with the business then, the business plot began to improve, began to gain momentum, he began production. Then from there, he established a bicycle factory. Then as at that time in Ludhiana, northern India, he established a bicycle factory. He began production consistently, little by little, until one day he saw that for him to be able to grow and abound beyond the stage that he was in, location was a detrimental factor to his growth and development as a person. So he saw that loophole and decided to move from Ludhiana, northern India, to Mumbai, which was a vibrant city as at that time. So he sold off his factory, his bicycle spare parts and yarn factory as at that time, and moved to Mumbai, which was a vibrant city then. So by that time, he was able to secure an international importing-exporting license, where he now began the importation of bicycle, importations of bikes, importation of spare parts, which he now began to sell as at that time. So he partnered with his brothers Rajesh Mittal and Rajan Mittal. They entered into partnership and began the importation of motor vehicle parts, generator parts as at that time. So it got to a point that they began to import at an enormous amount of quantity then, which brought to the attention of the Indian government then, because they were importing powered generator spare parts as at that time. So it got to the attention of the Indian government, and they banned the business as at that time. This left the businessman Bharti Sunil Mittal devastated, frustrated as at that time. He hoped for what to do and how he is going to move past this phase of his life where he's just beginning to gain momentum and expand as a business person. Then after a while, he traveled from India to Taiwan. To his amazement, he saw the expanse at which, or the way in which, push phone buttons were becoming increasingly used by the people of Taiwan as at that time. And he noticed that India as at that time, they haven't seen that kind of invention, which was an opportunity to him to replicate that system towards the Indian people. So he thought about it, that what if he could bring that kind of system, that push phone button kind of accessory, into the Indian market. Then he thought about it for a while and decided to partner with a company in Taiwan as at that time. So he partnered with a company in Taiwan. He would import this push phone button from Taiwan, and he began the sale and marketing of these phones in India as at that time. Few years down into the business, The business also has started to pick up. He even, he established a name for the business, which was Bharti Telecommunications at that time. So he incorporated the name Bharti Telecommunication, where he began to sell and market these phones. The company began to grow little by little. The company started gaining momentum. And after a while, he saw that for him to be able to build a system whereby phone will become easily accessible to even the commonest of man, he then thought to himself that how about he develop an infrastructure or a networking system where it will become easily accessible for people, common men, to have access to this push phone button rather than using the large round dial button phones with no speed dials and redials that was dominant in India then. Then an opportunity came once again where he saw that as at that time network licenses were going to be auctioned in India. 4 network licenses were going to be auctioned in India. So he thought to himself that it is best to take advantage of this network license and bid for one of the 4. So one of the conditions then for you to be able to bid for this network license is that you have to have an experience as a telecom operator as at that time. So he, knowing himself and knowing that he does not have that much of experience in telecom, he decided to partner with a French group. So a French corporation, a telecom giant as at that time, he partnered with them, entered into a deal with them, then used that company as an avenue for him to bid for that network license. So after bidding, the bid was successful, and by the year 1994, the bid was approved by the Indian government. He was very happy, very excited that yes, his vision to build inclusivity of people, a networking system is beginning to, get shape and gain momentum. So in 1994, the deal got approved. He began operation and he registered the name Bharti Cellular Services as at that time. It was incorporated as Bharti Cellular Services. The company began operation little by little. It began to secure partnerships, acquisition, which further extended the reach and expanse of that company in the Indian market then. So it secured and acquired the JT Holdings among other telecom operators that were dominant in India as at that time. So fast forward to May 2008, he saw the possibility of acquiring MTN Telecommunications Company, which is another telecommunication giant as at that time, having presence in over 21 countries then. So he saw the need to acquire the mobile telecommunication giant as at that time. So he approached the company and offered $45 billion for a 100% stake in the company. So after long talks here and there, having lengthy discussions, in their discussion, he noticed that the deal, the merger between Airtel and MTN would put Airtel as a subsidiary of MTN then. So after lengthy discussions, by July 2009, as at that time, the discussion proved abortive and everybody decided to go their separate ways because there was no headway when it comes to proper acquisition and mergers at that time, because they were not able to find a common ground as to how both parties can be beneficial in that discourse then. So the deal didn't come to fruition, which further left him devastated because his idea was to penetrate into the African market to begin to expand and grow as one of the leading telecommunications giants then. Having left the discussion then, another opportunity came in Africa, which was for him to acquire the then Zain Group. So there was a company named Zain Group then. Opportunity came in 2010 for him to acquire Zain Group. So he approached the company again, they discussed at length, and the acquisition was approved. Upon successful acquisition, this acquisition placed Airtel in 15 countries where they were dominantly and where they were present and dominant then at that time. So having entered into the markets, then it placed Airtel as one of the leading dominant countries, or one of the leading dominant telecommunications company with presence in 15 countries then. So they began expansion, they began growth, they were gaining momentum in that part of Africa then, especially in 15 countries. After successful acquisition of the then Zain Group, Airtel now, they began to expand, they began to grow immensely. And what was central to their growth process then was their innovation, or their invention of the minute factory model for their system of operation. And the minute factory model was based on the idea of low cost of data, low cost of telephony, and what high volume. So you'll be supplied high volume of data, high volume of call rates and call ability, but with low cost. So you are given the ability to call as much as you want to browse as much as you want to, with low cost. This was central to their growth and expansion then. So upon successful acquisition of the Zain Group, they saw an opportunity also to expand to the Channel Island. And this opportunity for expansion came as a result of the ability to further move away from the African market towards start, to gain. So they wanted to a situation whereby they can penetrate into the global economy, to become a globalized, enterprise, or a multinational enterprise. So they saw an opportunity with Telecom Seychelles, which they later also acquired, giving them further edge or penetration into the Channel Island. Now, Airtel as a brand was guided by the vision of fostering inclusive and adaptive, society for all, whereby everybody down to the commonest man can have the ability to use mobile telephony, engage in various aspects of services that are ascribed to the effective usage of mobile telephony there. So they were guided by the visions to enrich lives through affordable and innovative mobile services, and they upheld core value of alive, inclusivity, and respect. So they wanted that people's passion, people are able to express their passion via these channels provided by them, and they can also become inclusive in the process. They can be brought into that system in the process, and they will be mutually respected as customers of the brand. They have presence now in USA, Europe, Africa. They also have presence in Middle East, so Middle East like Iraq, Israel, Dubai, UAE. So they have presence also in Asian Pacific, that's Australia, Bangladesh, China, Cambodia, and the likes. And most importantly, they also have presence in the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation represent Asian countries like Nepal, India, of which that was the country that they began their movement from then. So Airtel's business model and strategy, let's look at their business model and strategy. And their business model and strategy is a strategy that it is very, very profound, and it embodies 6 principles. And the strategy is, number 1, to win at technology, which is to invest in sophisticated modern day technology that would ensure that their services are provided to their customers at a faster rate, embodying quality, embodying effectiveness, embodying efficiency. They want to win at distribution to be able to penetrate the global markets. They also want to win at data, so providing high volume of data at lower cost. They want to win with mobile money, breeding financial inclusion, so even down to the commonest man can be able to send and receive money from the comfort of his or her home. They can be able to have or own a bank account where they can send and receive money at any time. They also want to win at cost, which is achieving operational efficiency and cost effectiveness, so producing their services at the minimal cost possible with highest of quality. So they also want to win with people by including dynamism in their work environment. So people from different regions, people from different cultures, traditions, with different value system, creating a system whereby these people can collaborate together, work together, that will enable the goals and objectives of the company to be achieved effectively and efficiently. So the core product or services that are offered by Airtel, just telecommunication services. So their services is just majorly centered around providing telecommunication services, which include their 2G network, 3G network, 4G, 5G network, which they are currently launching now. And what they provide Airtel Money, which is what a platform that enables people to send, save, and receive money at a faster rate, and what home broadband services, so MiFi services, Wi-Fi services. So their core product or services is just centered on the idea that they, as a brand, as a company, are providing telecommunication services, that is services that will enable people to communicate effectively and efficiently. So away from that, now they are now incorporating a system that will build financial inclusion of the commonest of man, in the global, in a globalized nation as a whole in this dispensation. And their revenue model is very simple. So they make money from data charges, so charges on data, charges on calls, charges on the sale of their broadband services like their MiFis, their Wi-Fis, and the likes. And they also make money from financial services offered to people, so enabling people to send and receive money, save money. So transaction cost on each of these are ways in which Airtel makes an immeasurable amount, an extensive amount of money. So their market position now, Airtel is boasting of over 152 million.7 customer base, which has further moved to 208 million as of 2022. So they boast of over 208 million customers in their arsenal now, which enables them to be able to maintain their market position as one of the leading telecommunication brands in the globalized economy. And their growth and impact is very significant, like I said, from a company that started to ensure that people of India can communicate and engage effectively and efficiently, to moving into the South Asian Association region, then as at that time, to now transcending and penetrating Africa, now moving into to penetrate and establish themselves as a global corporation now. So their growth and impact has been very, very profound, offering various customer services and ensuring that people are also brought into the system, fostering that inclusivity, fostering that mutual respect among their customer. They have also done various corporate social responsibilities in order to enable their feedback. So to ensure that they give proper feedback to the people who has been a kind of support system from them when starting out. So we want to look at some of their key milestones, and some of their key milestones here are very, very amazing. I see their milestones that you can see it's based off of, it came as a result of persistence, as a result of dedication, as a result of hard work, and it's so beautiful to see. In 1995, Sunil Bharti Mittal began his journey into telecommunications, where he was able to secure one of the bid offered by the Indian government then. In 2001, they were awarded digital mobile license in Nigeria. So in 2001, they began operation in Nigeria, penetrated African zones. In 2010, through the acquisition of Zain Group, I explained earlier. In 2013, they won an award for customer service, brand innovation. 2014, they launched Airtel Touching Lives CSR program, corporate social responsibility program of Touching Life in 2013, which was profound and amazing. So fast forward to 2019, they've received notable brand recognition, multiple awards. In 2023, they've garnered 18 gold, 5 silver, 7 bronzes at the Lagos Advertising and Ideas Festival. So you can see the notable amount of results these people have, or Airtel as a brand has continued to achieve over the years. And the future outlook and vision is, looking at 2027, Airtel is looking towards a projected user of 376 million unique users along or across the global footprint, and what would continue to what maintain that global presence, maintain global relevance, and what move beyond bounds, at a level unprecedented. So one of the key lessons, again, these are key lessons I expect us to what have at the back of our minds. And number one, which I discovered, is our ability to be in the right location. You see, location plays an important role in everything we are looking to achieve, because we might have the right set of resources, we might have the right set of equipment, we might have the right set of material, but you see, location can sometimes be a detrimental factor that can be pulling us back from reaching that potential heights, either in our business, either in our finances, or in our personal growth journey. So we must be at alert to be able to decipher if we are in the right location that positions us as an expert in our various niches, or as somebody that will be able to offer value, and get recognized for it, either in our business, either in our finances, or in our personal development. So for this dispensation where online is now the front door to things and offline is now the back door to things, we should ensure that we are positioned correctly on the right social media platforms that enable us to have easy access to our targeted audience, so that we can be able to offer value and be perceived and seen as the right brand, or the right person with the right set of skills and proficiencies to provide solutions to customers' problems. And as regards our finances too, we should be positioned in a way and receive information from right source that's going to teach us how to make money, teach us how to grow and multiply our money, and enable us become sustainable financially over a long period of time. And our personal growth journey also, we should receive information from the right set of minds that would shape our minds and enable us move from point A to point B over time. So another lesson here is to be on a lookout for locking opportunities. So imagine if Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal didn't see the possibility of network telecommunication system growing at a level unprecedented as at that time. I'm sure he won't be able to bid for one of those network services or telecom services that was auctioned by the Indian government then. So our ability to always be on the lookout for opportunities lurking around, either in the niche we operate in or niche surrounding that niche we operate in. So it's another skill we need to learn and we need to practice. So in business, we need to make sure that in any business we are in, we should be on the lookout and be at alert for opportunities lurking around that can move us from point A to point B, or above and beyond point B. And also in our finances, we should be on the lookout to spot opportunities that will spur or move our finances from one point to another point, as when it comes to making, managing, and multiplying money. And also in our personal development journey, we should be on the lookout for opportunities that would shape our minds mentally, shape our minds physically, shape our minds psychologically, making us to become a better person, to become a better individual, to grow and develop as time goes on. So another lesson, which is the third one that I want us to learn, is our ability to always persevere, to always put in the work, to always be dedicated towards anything we are doing. Because you see, all these results, these big businesses, these multinational corporations didn't achieve this result overnight. It's a result of perseverance, a result of dedication, it's a result of not giving up. Because imagine when MTN decided, like when MTN acquisition proved about it, then he had given up and said, oh, I'm not penetrating Africa again, or I'm not penetrating the Channel Islands again, or I'm not establishing myself as a global, company again. What would have happened to Airtel today? So our ability to always see that in order for us to get the results we want, we need to persevere, we need to put in the work, we need to keep on moving, we need to keep on going. Our eyes must be on the goal, must be on the prize, must be on that thing we are looking forward to achieving. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the end, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.